Hey guys, and welcome to a quick video. This one's actually just kind of touching on a discussion about the wildy rejuvenation and some of the key points that I think maybe players should let up on, and secondly some things that maybe we should be a bit more concerned about with the upcoming polls. So here we go. I've got the dev blog open here, and I know they've discussed some changes already between then. So what I'll start out with is my main concern. So we've got the keys basically, so let's scroll down to where the keys are at. We'll get back to the capes. Right, so here are the keys section. Now this idea, although sounds good if you were to consider Deadman mode PvP, basically, it's brilliant in Deadman mode because you can't bank, certain things, and you're taking an entire bank. It makes a lot of sense. I feel like with PvP in the wilderness, that's actually going to be a very bad thing. The main reason being that you are going to end up with no food very quickly. A lot of fights in the wilderness, when you've got evenly matched players, you'll both end up with one or two food left at the end. It's only like seriously dominating players that end up with half an inventory of food, and often they're accompanied by a whole clan. So the people that are going to benefit from this are clan members, the best PKers, as well. So basically you're going to end up with clans becoming even more powerful because they're stacked up with loot, they've still got all their food because nobody's attacking them back, and they walk out of the wildy with 5 kills, possibly 5-6 mil. If each person drops like 800k to 1.2 mil each, they do very, very well for themselves. But when you consider a single player, he'll go into the wildy and he'll fight it out with someone, and they'll have a good fight, and they'll both go low on food and one will die. This guy will now pick up a key. He'll have one inventory slot taken up, and what you'll end up with is no food, no potions, no gear upgrades potentially on the floor because it'll all be locked in this key. So personally I don't feel like this idea is that great. I spend a lot of my time on my pure and on my main killing someone and then looting the stuff that they've dropped in order to survive the clan that's just turned up. Either they've just run into me or that guy was part of that clan. So without that food dropping to the floor, I will be absolutely ruined. This will push me further towards the meta of just coming with an inventory of brews and brewing up on every hit, like the Edgeville hybrid meta that Chris Archie complained about. I really feel like this would be a bad change to PvP in the wilderness. I really, really do. We need to be able to pick up the stuff and use it in situation. Like, sometimes, I might go out there with like a Zami book, for example, just to keep it cheap. But if I PK someone with a spirit shield and then a team gets on me, I'm going to want to wield that spirit shield. If it's in a key, there's no way that's happening. So you can see my hesitation here with these. So anyway, that's enough about the keys. I'm sure there are more things that can be said about that. Let's move on to the mage capes. So we've got, let me get rid of the fine thing. Mage capes are obvious here. So look, we've got the capes. Now I've just been watching the stream and they have said that they have reduced the bonuses that the mage cape offers because people are talking about it being way too powerful. There's being like a significant power creep there. Personally, I think that's a bit silly because what people are proposing as a difference is to actually give it like a void-based damage bonus, which, if you ask me, that's power creep. Higher damage is higher DPS. That's just plain and simple. Obviously, a greater increase in accuracy means higher DPS as well, but I suspect it wouldn't be as much. And then this also would mean that if you were to keep it with accuracy rather than damage, you probably get nicer kills at Zora. Void is good at Zora, and yes, on a really, really lucky kill, you can get a very fast kill with Void. However, just for consistent kills, you're better off with Arims. It's much more accurate, and you're gonna get a much more regular time. Whereas with Void, you'll go from like 3 minutes to 1 minute 20, whereas with Arims it's basically like 1 minute 30, 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40, 1 minute 30 kind of thing, if you see what I mean. So I feel like the accuracy would be less of a power creep, but also you'd see quite a nice benefit from it. Whereas if you put an extra damage bonus on it, all the people with the ancestral robes, you're now talking about hitting stupendous things with barrage, for example. You'd probably be able to hit 49s, I think, with like, you know, depending on what kind of damage increase they give it. So that could be extreme. Again, seriously helping out the people who are in clans, who come out in max mage gear. I mean, the cape is going to be OP basically, especially considering that most people who are going to risk it are coming with clans. You know, if it's such a long thing to get back, they will only do that if they've got a big team of backup. So as much as I like the idea of capes for PVM, I really think that they would do quite a lot of damage to the PvP situation, because at the moment, with not even max mage, if you come in with Arims, a Serp Helm, an Arcane and a Staff of the Dead, you are going to freeze people every few steps. There's no problem. It's super accurate. So if you're talking about having this cape plus Ancestral, you know, they don't even need the Ancestral, but if this cape plus Arims, you're never going to get away. The max mage in the world is going to be so powerful. So potentially maybe the max cape, the new mage cape could be kept for PVM only somehow, you know. Because mage is powerful in the worldie. It really, really is already. So I don't know whether that's something that we should really have. It just seems to me that it will make clans more powerful. Basically, the only people who risk these big items are people in clans or with a lot of backup very nearby. So again, I think it's going to make life harder for the solo PKer who doesn't have, you know, a 2 bill bank or whatever. Anyway, that's enough of that. I think, you know, the mage cape, that's something I could probably live with either way. We just have to bring more mage defense, basically. You'd have to change the kind of range tank. I guess people call it ragging meta, but yeah. So anyway, I mean, the capes look nice as well. I don't know if they're going to stick with that. It's okay. It's better than some of the others I've seen. And then finally, let's move on to the Rev Caves. Let's find that really quickly. Rev Caves. Let's have a look. So the Chaos Altar I really couldn't care about, you know, that will create PKing, whether if people go there or whatever. Okay, so Rev Caves. People are complaining that you are drawing PVMers out into the Rev Caves. That's not the case at all. You know, if you want to PVM and you don't want to go in the wildy, keep PVMing. It doesn't matter to us. It really doesn't, okay? What's going to happen is for the Rev Caves, it's going to be for people like me who love to PK, but I'm solo and I don't often get a chance to go out there as much as I like. The Rev Caves will create this hub, as they keep saying, of activity. I will be able to pick off 1 or 2 players from the entrances where there's a switch between multi and single and that kind of thing. That's always fun. There's also great fun running with a team of 5 of you when like a team of 20 runs in the top and you start sprinting down to the south exit to try and get to single in time. That's a huge amount of fun. You know, having a lane kind of system in RuneScape PKing is really, really, really fun. The wildy is a little bit too open sometimes, so this is great. If you don't want to go there, as they say, it's not going to be more profitable than PVM things that we already have, so don't go there, you know. But for people like me who will find it fun to anti-PK in there, or maybe try and sneak in at the entrance and just grab a cheeky kill off somebody who's not prepared to fight in a single situation, it's perfect, you know. And to have these loots to actually motivate people to go out there is fantastic. So I really can't understand this, you're forcing PVMers out there. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. That's the whole ethos of the wildy. Risk versus reward. You decide to take the risk, you can get the reward, you know. Don't go there if you don't want to. They're not forcing you to do anything. So yeah, that's my my views on this, and I think, to be honest, people need to think very carefully about the effects of some of these updates, because they may sound good from the start, but I would be worried about some of the changes that they would make, which would possibly drive the PKing meta further to what we don't want, you know, where clans dominate 100% and it's all about brewing up every single hit. So we've got to watch out for those things. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. If there's something, like if there's another unofficial blog that hasn't been posted to the front page that I've missed with, you know, updated information, please do let me know. You know, I haven't seen that. I did just watch the stream to get a, you know, more recent kind of update on what was going on. But yeah, to be honest, some of these ideas are really great and some of them sound quite dangerous to me. So I'd like to get your feedback, and I hope you guys consider it more carefully than just, oh, there's more loot out there, because that isn't just the case. Right, I thought I'd just add in one more thing. A lot of people might be like, oh, who cares about the solo PKers? I do, and a lot of people do. There are a lot of people who play RuneScape. We're mainly adults now who have jobs, girlfriends, this kind of thing, dependents, whatever. We cannot be on for the time that these clans require. I tried to join DI about a year and a half ago, and I got a week and a half into their kind of introduction. You have to be on every single day for 2 weeks, and then I missed 3 days because I had to go on holiday with my girlfriend. There's no option about that. This is a holiday. It's real life. You've got to go and do it, haven't you? It's not that I didn't want to, but that's it. And they booted me from the clan. That was it. I can't reapply now. The level of dedication that these clans require is unachievable by quite a lot of players like myself, and we love PKing, but when all we're met with is these big clans that just desim you and wait for you to get to your low food and then TB you and then 10 people log in, why do we want to go in the wildy to face that? There's no solo PKers, and every time we do run into a solo PKer, it turns out he's actually just bait for one of these clans. So supporting the clans in PvP is not something I really appreciate. I really feel like we need to break that down and bring it into something where solo PKers can go out there and not be harassed by these clans who will have 3 or 4 accounts to bait you into attacking them. You can't, some days you just can't do anything because they're there. You have to give up and log out. So I feel that that's why the wildy is dying. So making life better for clans doesn't make life better for the wildy. It will probably actually kill it off more. So I do have my reservations about some of these updates, and I really hope that there is a bit more discussion around it. Actually, I really don't want these updates to be rushed out because PKing has been for a long time my most favourite part of RuneScape, and it would be a real shame to see it go even further toward the clan meta. To be honest, if there were more clans like Jar Jar used to be before EOC, I used to run with Jar Jar a lot when there was the clan wars in the wilderness. That was very fun because you could just join a CC and you'd have to take fair risk as that somebody might be in there and they might BS you, and that's just part of the fun of it. And we used to stand in clan wars and wait for a couple of guys to get in a fight, and then we just venge and rush out and spec, and have a little fight and then run back in. Those days were very, very fun. Casual PK clans are very, very fun. Some of the biggest streamers, they do fantastic PKing trips where they go out with their tribe, as SparkMap would call it. I think Amenity does a PKing thing sometimes. And I know that I think the Rock clan leader, Beluga or something, he does PK trips from time to time as well. Those are great. They're casual. It's perfect. But these clans that require such incredible dedication and then use that dedication to completely dominate the wildies so that solo PKers can't get out there, I find a big problem, and I find that's why the wildy has died. It's not because of lack of opportunity. It is just because of sheer domination, to the point it's like being ragged in Edgefield nearly, but you're in deep wildy with much greater risk, and you've got nowhere to go, and there's potentially 20 people ready to spec you out with all sorts of different spec weapons standing on one spot so that you can't see what weapons they're using. So yeah, please do discuss it, guys. I'm going to post this to Reddit. I hope this gets some traction. So yeah, anyway, that's a quick little video. I was just concerned about what might happen to the PvP situation, so I thought I'd better get my views out there. So this is just one of those quick little discussion videos. So anyway, I'm off for the weekend. There will be a video coming Sunday, as I've said before. So I hope you enjoy that and have a good one up until then. Take it easy. Peace.